end zone touchdown.
Throw down to second in time.
It's the last 2 possessions. What a pass. What a pass.
Nixon, the runner comes home, they got her. Top.
Hello and welcome to this week's Big 12 Report presented by Dr. Pepper. I'm Wendell Barnhouse, Big12Sports.com correspondent, joined by co-host Carter Babb.
Thanks, Wendell. During Big 12 football media days back in July, coaches, student athletes, mascots, and Special Olympics athletes all took part in a series of public service announcements that will appear during athletic broadcasts throughout the Big 12 season. This week, we give you a behind-the-scenes look at the production of those videos and what went into making them such a success.
Action! We turned the ballroom into what is essentially a soundstage. And with a 12-foot prop, that's a big logo. I mean, it's 12 feet by 20 feet. So, it's designed to be on the field.
In fact, you don't realize how big this logo is when it's sitting in storage until you actually see it assembled and put together. But it provides us a tremendous branding opportunity to have something of this magnitude and be able to capture it and utilize it in our PSA campaign.
At Football Media Days in July, the Big 12, with the help of its public relations firm H&K Strategies and Rising Creek Productions, produced several public service announcements that are airing during football telecasts this season. For the first time, all 10 coaches were involved with the filming of a PSA, and through the magic of editing, all 10 appear together, even though because of scheduling obligations over the 2 days, the coaches were never in the studio at the same time.
Let's move.
It was a challenge trying to find time in their schedule as it was already structured for media day in and of itself. And one of the things that we had to work with the creative team was, okay, we're not going to have these guys for an extended period of time. So however we're going to use them, it has to be painless, it has to be seamless, and it has to be fast. As a whole, they were very receptive to the idea, they were very accommodating, and they were willing to help promote the conference. Our coaches are ambassadors for their universities. They're some of the most recognizable individuals associated with athletic programs and with universities as a whole. In the past, we've used an outside agency, and part of their charge would be to hire the talent or the actors to participate in the shoot. So this year we wanted, with the theme being the Big 12's strength and stability, we thought it was imperative to have those that play under the Big 12 banner, coaches, student athletes, mascots, participate in the PSA so that it really had a feel of Big 12.
It will differentiate us in terms, I think, of who the Big 12 is, where they're going, the power, the personality of all the teams, as well as the conference in general. Also, we were able to develop their relationships with Special Olympics. We're able to utilize the athletes that are here for media days and the mascots. The mascots had a great time. Putting them all together. You don't really see the mascots together. At a game, you get 2, but you don't get all 10 of them together. So you get some interesting synergy when you get all those mascots together. So I think that's going to be a really, really fun one. And then you got the student athletes, and they're working together to, formulate sportsmanship, collaboration, and work toward having a great season.
I think the PSA has really turned out well, and the fact that so many of the most recognizable faces in the Big 12 took the time to do that really made it a great success.
Absolutely.
Yep. Well, week 4 of the football season features several interesting games, including the second conference matchup of the season. Wendell, why don't you tell us what you got your eye on this week?
Well, I'm going to take a look at just one game. 2 ranked teams, both with a good chance and an idea that they can win the Big 12 championship this year, are going to meet Saturday night in Norman, Oklahoma. Number 13 Kansas State will take on number 5 Oklahoma at 6:30 p.m. on Fox. Both teams are led by senior quarterbacks, Colin Klein for the Wildcats and Landry Jones for the Sooners. Now, last year in Manhattan, Oklahoma ran away with a 58-17 victory. This will be the Big 12's debut on Fox, and the game will also be televised on Fox Deportes. Now here's a look at the weekend schedule for the Big 12. 4 Big 12 teams will be facing non-conference foes, and 4 teams have the week off.
I think this is probably the first week this season where you can really say that every game in the league should actually be a good contest.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get to some world-famous shout-outs. What'd you find out for us this week, Wendell?
Well, it took you 5 or 6 shows to realize they're world famous, so thank you, Carter. We're going to start with conference volleyball. It looks like it's going to be a very competitive season. It's going to be worth following. A lot of teams bunched up near the top. 3 Big 12 teams are in the top 25. Texas is at number 9. Kansas State has moved up to number 11, and Iowa State is ranked 19th. The Cyclones got a lot of attention with Saturday's upset of top-ranked Nebraska. Kansas State is 12-0, and that's the best start in school history. They have some of the best frontline blockers in the country. Texas is always a threat to make it to the Final Four. You mix in teams like Baylor, TCU, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, and the round-robin conference schedule, and there should be a lot of unpredictable results this season. The conference soccer schedule gets started this weekend with 4 conference games on Friday and 2 on Sunday. Preseason favorite Oklahoma State is ranked in the top 10 nationally, while Baylor and Kansas continue to get attention in the polls. Congratulations to Baylor coach Marcy Jobson for the 47th victory of her career that made her the winningest coach in program history. And Texas Tech won the Under Armour Invitational in Fullerton, California, as freshman Janine Becky was named the MVP. She had her 3rd game-winning goal of the season in the Red Raiders' victory over number 20 Long Beach State. Big 12 teams amassed a 13-2-2 record in the final weekend of non-conference play and allowed only 16 goals in those 17 games. Finally, I'd like to recognize some Big 12 student athletes for their good deeds and community service. Members of the Texas women's tennis team recently helped serve meals at the Royal Palms community area in southeast Austin. And on Sunday in Lawrence, members of the Kansas baseball and softball teams helped the United Way of Douglas County pack and distribute 40,000 meals. The student athletes were among 350 volunteers who helped pass out food to more than 500 people at a mobile food pantry.
Well, that's a wrap for this week's Big 12 report. As always, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Big 12 Conference for all the latest news, notes, and scores from around the league. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
I didn't go.
I think I had a better throw than you. It's going to be a good blooper reel this week.
Fox Deportes.
Douglas County, Texas.
Douglas County. Get out and get some of that laugh. 500 people at a mobile food pantry because the professionals sometimes have to look down, Jesse, okay? 40,000 meals. The student athletes were among, just stumbled, 3, 2, 1, 40,000 meals at a mobile food pantry.
That was a nice job.
And on Sunday,
I had to hear this thing about the food bank.
yeah, well, you know, how long did this take? I don't know.
About an hour, because we're the best.
That's right, we are. Would you turn the camera off, please?